Keen Project Solutions, a modern engineering and construction firm, embracing technology, establishing industry-leading systems and processes, and delivering reliable results to our customers. At Keen, we are passionate about inspiring our team and our customers to achieve great things, offering the highest quality services in commercial construction to deliver turnkey projects. Our core beliefs drive us forward. Protect people, build relationships, drive innovation, and focus on end goals, bringing our customers' desired results to life. See how Keen can work for you at ThinkDifferent.ThinkKeen.com.
We know that carrying your groceries out to your car seems a bit old school. That saying hello and asking about your day feels like a thing of the past. Being best at fresh, it's not just a fad. Serving high-quality meat at affordable prices? Talk about a throwback. But at Fairway, that's kind of our thing. Because some things never go out of style. Friendly at Fairway. It's more than just a name.
%10 of all the new cars sold in Iowa come from the Carl Auto Group. Our neighbors trust us to have the largest selection and the highest standards. To our current customers, thank you. And to our future customers, see for yourself why Carl drives Iowa.
Your dealer for life, it's the Carl way.
Hey guys, welcome to POSTGAME. Iowa State loses to BYU 41-27. So much to talk about from that massively disappointing loss today at Jack Trice Stadium. My name is Chris Williams, solo here tonight. Full disclosure, I did leave in the third quarter to come and take my daughter's trick-or-treating, so that's why I'm not in the press box like I was at halftime. Family first, right? We are in the Northwest Bank Studios. And I want to thank all of our presenting sponsors, Fairway Meat and Grocery, Central States Roofing, Keen Project Solutions, and my guys, the Natuzels. Actually just set up a meeting with them to work on my own personal future finances. That's coming up in a couple weeks. Chase lives here in Bondurant. Like seeing him around. Clay is his father. Cody is his brother. Awesome people. Remember them for your financial future. Gosh, I'm so disappointed in today's 41-27 loss to BYU. Just first of all, BYU's a really nice football team, right? Like we can all acknowledge that. That's all real. The problem is that when you get out to, such a great start like Iowa State did, and I turned A and white and at halftime. If you guys watched my halftime, I felt terrible at this game. At halftime, being up by 7. Iowa State should have been up by minimum 17 in the first half. And really, I jotted it down. I have 4 huge plays. I know there are more of them. When you lose the turnover battle 4-0, you still outgain an opponent that lost its starting running back in the first quarter. So obviously the Rocco Becht interception, Iowa State's going in to take a 17-point lead in the second quarter would have been massive. It was a bad pick. The overthrow on the second offensive possession of the game should have been a touchdown. Iowa State had to settle for 3. So you're looking at a very least, 6 points there. Well, it's probably 10. Benny Nagoye stepping on the ball after Iowa State's defense gets a big stand in the third quarter. There's so many of them where, this is going to drive all those guys crazy. Yards per play, 7.1 for Iowa State. My God, they moved the football at will when it wasn't desperation time, and you just keep finding ways to screw it up. And we saw that the Cincinnati game, to me, looking back, it's like the defense. It's your first half without those corners. They were horrible in the first half. Got much better. That was just a straight loss. I think the better team won that football game. Colorado was maddening because I don't think Colorado at that time was better than Iowa State. This one is the most frustrating of them all, though, because you had the number 11 team in the country down, and you could have buried them. Really, you really could have, because if you get this BYU team down 17, Your defense is flying to the football, right? And I didn't even mention how horrible the kickoff team was all day, giving BYU great field position across the board. But if you would have got this BYU team down by 17 in the second quarter, their entire offense changes, right? And you can play a much more free level of defense. And, I don't know exactly what happened on that interception when Rocco throws it up the right sideline and Soel is wide open in the back of the end zone and Rocco just throws it right through the guy. I don't know exactly what happened, but whatever it was horrible. And that changed the game like that. So Iowa State did bounce back, right? So they go back down, they score from there, and then they give up the 25-yard kick return at the end of the first half. They give up the BYU touchdown. BYU goes right down at the end of the first, or at the beginning of the third quarter, and scores. And it's just, you just can't get out of your own way. And it's truly I could see the frustration in Matt Campbell's eyes. What's weird to me and what's so hard for me with this, it's like, because my gut tells me right now when I'm watching the game, my gut tells me that on defense, Iowa State right now probably doesn't have the guys. Just across the board. I don't think they're all bad. That's not what I'm saying. I think they have nice pieces here and there. I feel like the linebackers have probably underachieved this year. The corners you can't really judge. They shouldn't be out there. The safeties are having to play a weird game because of the corner situation. I think the D-line as a whole is probably underachieved, if we're all being honest, right? I think on the offensive side, though, I think they have guys. That's what's so frustrating. Like, I think that they have guys, and it is a maddening thing. Rocco Becht is really letting the team down right now with these turnovers. He just is. And saw at the end of the Colorado game, too. It wasn't turnovers, but it's missed reads here and there. And, you just, man, it's frustrating because I do feel like, I don't know if you guys feel like this, too, like on that offense. Like, the plays are there. At the end of the game, Iowa State's going in, and the wide open pass, Rocco hits him, Floridas drops the football. Just drops it. Like, Rocco's struggling enough. When he hits you in the hands for a touchdown, you got to catch the damn thing, right? Like, so it's just one thing after another. It's like anything. This is where I think they're at right now. And this is what's so frustrating about how this game ended. Because these type of situations tend to compound, right? Good things compound in life. Do 100 push-ups every day, it compounds, and then you keep getting stronger. So do bad things. And, I looked at that game at halftime when you're down, you're leading the penalty situation 6-0, and you're still only up by 7. You're out gaining them. You're still only up 7. And then, the wheels really came off. A 31-3 run there for BYU in the second half. I don't know exactly what it ended at, but that one, to me, of all the losses, was by far the most frustrating, in my opinion. The Colorado one second. And looking back on it, I think Iowa State definitely didn't deserve to win any of the games, but the Cincinnati game would be third for me when I look at all those. But this one, coming off of the bye, the way you started, man, I thought the offense had rinsed its mouth of all that crap. It was just bad football. Like the Nagoye thing, like get away from it. Like it's just football 101. You get away from it in that spot. Maybe that was on Flora too, right? Because the returners gotta be a part of that. That one was frustrating. Really anxious to see how Matt Campbell handles his postgame today. By far in my mind, one of the bigger, more inexplicable losses of the Campbell era. Not that they lost to BYU, because BYU is a good football team. They're going to be in the top 10, right? Like they're undefeated for a reason, setting up with the showdown for them with Texas Tech in 2 weeks after their bye week. I'm not taking anything away from the Cougars because a lesser team would have folded. Losing your running back like that, you get down early, tough road environment, and they stuck with it. I give them a lot of credit. But what's frustrating is I think with the defense, that's my analysis of it. I don't know if they have the guys across the board at this point to be really, really good. I think they can be okay. On offense, I think Iowa State has the guys. What was the final yardage today? 495. I mean, you're moving the football. 7.1 yards per play, for crying out loud. The running backs and offensive line were great today. But the problem is you had so many turnovers and you put yourself in so many bad spots that you took that out of the running game. Or you took that out of the offense late into the second half. If you have a 2-possession lead at halftime, it's totally different because you can keep sticking with the running game, right? The other problem that I have right now with Iowa State is Hansen rips open that 65-yard run in the third quarter. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, crap, he didn't get into the end zone. What are they going to do to screw it up? That's a problem. Right? So here we go. Like, just really tough stuff today. And I don't really know what else to say, right? Like, I think that it's just a really hard loss for a lot of people. I think that the players are, you also, I feel for them. Like, Flora, like, usually catches that. And Rocco, like, I hate, like, he looked so good early in that game. And I thought that they had rinsed themselves of all that. And, like, it's still the same guy, right? But he's got a confidence problem right now, it appears. And what can we do, to build that back? I don't know. You don't bench Rocco back. I can tell you that. But it's frustrating. And the problem is you've got a really good Arizona State team that's trying to win a Big 12 championship coming in here next week. And that will be an absolute doozy. So Arizona State plays Houston later on tonight. And we'll keep an eye on that one. We'll know the kick time for that one coming up tomorrow. But let's I'll give it. So a lot of you guys are talking about the defensive front, and I'm just looking in the chat. Sorry, I'm catching up. Listen, like, do I think it's perfect? No. Do I think that it was really effective early in this game? Yes. I think that it continuously got that. In my opinion, you gotta tell me if I'm nuts. I didn't think the defense was horrific today. I didn't think they were good. Don't get me wrong, but they just kept getting put in really bad spots. I thought early on when Iowa State was playing with the lead, hear me out here, they were actually pretty aggressive early in the football game. Where the defense really, really struggled today was at the end of the first half. And they got into that soft, like, everybody play 10 yards back thing that we've all seen. That's part of this defense. And then when you started playing from behind, it was like they got really passive. Again, I don't think the linebackers are as good as we thought. They haven't progressed, in my opinion. I don't think that the D-line is I think it's when Orange is playing, like, really, really, really well, I think it's average its best. And I think the secondary is really, really struggling without the corners, based on what the safeties are having to do now. Their lives are just much more complicated. So I don't necessarily know if it's the scheme. Yeah, a lot of you guys are experts. I'm looking at it. You guys are the experts here, so you tell me. But, like, to me, they played pretty well against Colorado. I thought the defense did. Colorado's not a very good offense, so it's not like this easy way to look at it. And I thought today, other than that last possession, now there were a couple of spot plays. 19 got burned a couple of times. He probably wouldn't be out there. I don't know. To me, like, I put it on the offense today. I'm sorry. Like, you scored 27. You probably should have had close to 50 by plays that are just out there. You can't turn it over 4 times. You can't let your special teams give them the ball at midfield and then expect your defense to just constantly be lights out all the time. The complementary football thing is real. And they're not doing that across the board. Like, they're just not. Like, the kickoffs were horrendous. Like, and I know it's the third string kicker out there. I get all of it, but like, if we're questioning the defense, that's one thing. And now we're going to continuously put the other team at midfield and we're going to turn it over 4 times. You're not really helping them, is my point. So this all works together. It's not like, oh, I'm going to point at one facet of the game. At least that's not how I look at it. That's not how I look at this. So sure, if you the thing is, like, I need to go back and watch the tape, but really early on in that football game, they weren't playing 3 down linemen. Like maybe 3 technically defensive linemen. Sometimes they had 5 guys up front. So it's not as easy as just like, oh, get rid of the 3-3-5. Like that's not. I understand your point. It's frustrating on the third down thing. Like I get it. I get frustrated too. But I truly believe if Iowa State goes in and scores and gets up 17, we're not having this conversation about the defense today because it just changed the way the entire game progressed from there. I mean, 4 turnovers, 495 yards, 7.1 yards per play, and you only scored 27 points. That's not all on the defense, folks. This is a team loss. Across the board. The special teams was bad. Not talking about the kicker. Conradi comes back, did really well today. But, you know, the entire, like, Jeff Woody's hidden yardage stat would be horrific for this game. Horrific. The Nagoye thing, right? Like, there's just so many, like, areas. So, like, to just point at it and be like, oh, well, if we didn't have this weird defense that we played, that's just wrong. It may be a part of it. But there's all this other stuff. Like it all comes together, and that's how you lose a game like Iowa State did today. So there you go. What a day. Appreciate y'all. I love you guys. Even when you're mad and yelling, it's great. I'm going to do Cyclone Reaction, and then I'm going to try and take my kids trick-or-treating for like 10 minutes by the end of the night. That's my goal. Appreciate all of our great sponsors, Fairway Meat and Grocery, Central States Roofing, the Natuzel family, Natuzel Financial Solutions, and also our friends over at Keen Project Solutions. Williams and Bloom will be back coming up on Sunday night, so that's tomorrow, about 24 hours from now. And until then, we got basketball coming up on Sunday. Exhibition against Northwestern. Jake Brin and Rob Gray will both be there covering it for Cyclone Fanatic. Later.